Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka MAZUMA TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope you had a great weekend overall. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We're going to be speaking about Vergil Ortiz possibly moving to 160 pounds, according to his team. Navarrete versus O'Shaquie Foster being, agreeing to terms and what that could mean for the possible fight. And of course, what's next for Claressa Shields? But before we get into all of that, if y'all could please hit the like button on the way in, that'd be very much appreciated. We on the road to 4K. We well into the 3,700 mark, looking to crack that 3,800 mark in due time. Shout out to the nation and the mob for making this possible. Big shout out to everybody that's been contributing to the channel, whether it's through super chats or cash apps. Shout out to the replay gang. We definitely in the building. Let me shout out all of the comments as well. Shout out to the little sis Marissa Alvarez with the first comment of the day. What's going on, little sis? How we feeling? It's always great to have you on the channel. Denitric Banner, what up? He said, man, Vergil said his career got to be studied as shown to the next upcoming fighters to take opportunities. We definitely going to talk about that. Teach, what up? He said, now his trainer is saying they are in talks to fight with Charlo for a fight in November in Texas. Okay, we'll definitely see about that. Z, what's going on, brother? How we feeling? How we feeling? MAZUMA Nation, absolutely. He said, man, Vergil need to move up and fight for a world title. He's oddly okay with not winning a world title. Hey, man. Jay, what up? What's going on, brother? How we feeling? What's up? What's up? Lorenzo and the motherfucking Benzo, what up, man? If y'all new to the channel, please let me know where y'all from so I can shout y'all out. Otherwise, we're about to start cooking up in a few. I'm going to just let a few more people get up in here, man. I took 2 days off. Definitely needed that. It was just resting, chilling with the wifey and shit like that. Didn't have my son this weekend either. So usually when I don't have my son for the weekend, it does get a bit depressing. So I just find ways to maintain productivity. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, what we do Friday? We do anything Friday? I don't even know if we did anything Friday. I think I was just working. I was working. Then on Saturday, yesterday, you know what I mean, while the fights was going on and all of that, and we're going to talk about that as well, even though I didn't really watch the fights. Yeah, I mean, I went out to eat. You know what I mean, we went to this nice little restaurant down the way, down Center City and shit like that. That was cool. No, South Philly, actually. Shout out South Philly. And then, yeah, today we was just moving around, buying some things for her, of course. It ain't never for me. But we got that done as well. So it was a nice little productive weekend, man. I'm just ready to, and I had a week-long vacation from, my other, one of my jobs. So, you know what I mean, that was cool too, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing like some little nice paid time off, you know what I'm saying? So it was all good, man. I hope everything's going well with y'all as well. They said Vergil finna visit the promised land. Well, Vergil already went to the promised land back when, he avoided Jerron Ennis and got into this huge lawsuit and was trying to fight Errol Spence instead. You know what I mean? Let me see. Tricks, what up? What's going on, Tricks? The maestro is in the building. What's going on, brother? Rocco McBride, what up? This nigga said Vergil and his team is some nincompoops. Yo, on some real shit, I never seen that word spelled out before, so that's fucking hilarious. That's only ever a word that I've heard said like out loud. I've never seen anybody write the word out, so that's fucking hilarious. 3 Heads, what up, man? Shout out Philly. What's going on? What's going on? 215, what up? 215-267-610. What up? What up? What up? Doughboy Ego said, hold up. Vergil Ortiz is going to 160. I mean, that's what Robert Garcia was saying in the interview he just put out. We definitely going to react to that. We about to get started in a few, man. He been a promised land resident since 2025. Yeah, man. I got his lease, right? I got his motherfucking lease right over here, man. Vergil Ortiz lease with the promised land is right here, man. I mean, he signed off on that bitch. He been living there for like a year already. His rent about to go up though. You know what I'm saying? His lease coming to an end. You know what I mean, at the end of this year. So, you know what I'm saying? If he don't, you know what I mean, if he want to stick around, that rent gonna go up. You feel me? Jay said Vergil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu 2027 is terrible. Hey man, look. I'm trying to refrain from getting into the topic, man. Lorenzo, I didn't watch any boxing yesterday, man. Like I seen like some small shit. Like I seen Tifo Burlton's fight with Romero Alexis Angulo. I watched a little bit of that. Bro, like the Clarissa Shields fight was so fucking late. I don't know if I was just that tired or what, but I think she ain't rumbled till like 12 something, and I was already out by then, man. I was tired. We went to this restaurant, this Italian restaurant, and they gave us all this pasta, bro. I was driving back home feeling sleepy than the bitch. I was like, man, if they could just get the fight started by like 11:30, I'll be all right. Bro, these niggas is fucking playing straight bullshit. Oh, also wanted to mention, shout out to the boy Jalil Aziz in the building. What's going on? Agent 86, what up? What's going on? What's going on? Salute to my brother Tito Marcato, man. That was a tough situation that he had went through. That weekend was a bunch of roller coaster, to be honest. You know, he just signed with Salida and Win Records. You know, they give him an opponent, Emanuel Tago, whatever the fuck his name is. This dude came in 10 pounds overweight. So you mean to tell me that you talked all that shit to Tito Marcato, bro? You talked all that shit saying that it was going to be easy work and you were going to do all this shit to Tito Marcato. You was popping it, like really popping it. Just for you to be 10 pounds overweight? Just to be 10 pounds overweight, brother? What type of shit is that, man? So I was a little bit down in the dumps about that, and I ain't gonna lie, that was really the main fight that I was looking forward to. You know, outside of our T's fight, of course. Like Clarissa's fight, it's like Clarissa's a big name. She's very important to the sport of boxing, especially female boxing. But like I watched that woman Kay Scott fight, she didn't bring anything to the table for Claressa Shields, just like a majority of her opponents. You know what I'm saying? There's not one opponent that Claressa Shields has had to date where I'm like, oh shit, she might actually lose. You feel me? But that just goes to show. I mean, you can look at it two ways. You know, female boxing in the higher weights aren't that competitive. You can look at it that way. There's minimal competition there, or Claressa Shields is just that fucking good. But regardless, I really wasn't caring too much about her fight. I knew she was gonna do that girl dirty, man. You know what I'm saying? She like, I mean, I ain't gonna diss K Sky. I ain't gonna do that. But I knew that was easy work. You feel me? Troy Isley also fought. Yeah, I saw that. But like I said, that wasn't anybody that I was excited to watch. You know, like Troy Isley, he never been a fighter that I really cared too much for, to be honest with you, man. Like until he gets like some, you know, big wins or, you know, starts really having some impressive performances. You know what I mean? Like he not nobody I'm really looking for, to be honest with you, man. Like I don't know what's up with Troy Isley, but apparently he didn't look too good from what I heard. You know what I mean? From what I heard. And, you know, there was a couple times I seen Troy Isley fight and I wasn't really like impressed by him. Like I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Like I really wasn't. And I always felt that way about Troy Isley, but you know what I mean? He winning, so that's all that matters, man. Maybe he'll end up being the truth, or maybe he'll prove me wrong. But as of right now, I don't really see anything in Troy Isley that just make me want to watch him. You feel me? But anyways, my boy Tito Marcato, opponent Emanuel Tago, this motherfucker came in 10 pounds overweight, bro. 10 pounds after talking all that gangster shit. Then, you know what I mean, there was a little bit of optimism in the situation after being a little down in the dumps because it seemed like they found a replacement opponent for Tito Marcato. He had a pretty solid record and shit like that. So I was like, okay, that's what's up, man. Nice little switch up in opponent. Shout out to Win Records and Salida for having a substitute on deck. You feel me? Like that shit that I could respect. Like that's true professionalism. However, not all of these fighters themselves are professional. So apparently there was going to be a 146 catch weight that they were going to fight at. You know, I know Tito's a 140-pound fighter, but, you know, desperate needs call for desperate measures, I guess you would say. And, you know, they raised it up to 146. So I'm thinking everything going to be cool. You know, if he agreed to 146, I'm assuming the motherfucker was at least, you know, around the weight, if not on weight at that particular time. But come to find out the next day, this dude didn't make 146 pounds neither. So they just scrapped this fight overall. And it's unfortunate, man, because Tito Marcato, he's had these situations happen in his career over and over again, it feels like. And just always having opponent issues or, you know, I think I could recall a time where like he had an injury and shit like that. So I really hope that Tito Marcato, Win Records, Salida Promotions, they find him a date ASAP, man, because I would hate to see him do a whole training camp and really lock in and spend all of this fucking money to not fight anybody, man. I really hope Tito Marcato got paid for the effort, though. You know what I'm saying? I hope he got paid for his, because everything else was out of his control. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna lie, man. Like, just like how I believe, over at MAZUMA TV, we real against, performance enhancement drug users and shit like that. And I feel like how they should be penalized and even banned from the sport of boxing, after a couple instances. I feel like people who miss weight should face serious consequences as well. There's no reason why you have a 6 to 8 week training camp. Now, if you over like a 1 pound, 2 pounds, whatever, like shit happens, right? You know what I mean? Maybe your body didn't respond properly in camp. Maybe you got sick in camp and had to rehydrate. You know what I mean? You had to stay hydrated in order to get over the illness. I done heard about all of that shit just with me being experienced in the sport of boxing. But when you are like 5, 6, 7, like I think anything past 3 pounds is like, all right, bro, like I'm starting to question whether you really tried or not. You feel me? Once we get into like the 3, 4, 5, 10 fucking pounds, bro, you wasted everybody's fucking time. You wasted a lot of motherfucking, you wasting people money. You feel what I'm saying? So as a result of that, you should pay the consequences for that. And if you were, and then it's like, bro, if you came in 10 pounds overweight the day of the fucking weigh-in, I can only imagine how heavy you were when you accepted the fight. You know what I'm saying? And in my eyes, when you come in that much overweight, it's either one or two things. One, you didn't train. Well, three things. You're moving real undisciplined outside of the ring. Like you're just blowing the fuck up in weight. Two, you didn't have a good training camp. Like you didn't even fucking train. Three, you probably didn't want to fucking fight. Or maybe it's all of the above. But regardless, man, I hope Tito Marcato gets a new date ASAP, man. You know what I'm saying? And they get the ball rolling because, you know what I mean? I would like to see Tito Marcato fight before the end of the year at least. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to see him fight at least 2 times. But if we could get, one fight out of Tito Marcato before the year is up so he can continue his, his build up to, 140-pound championship status. I mean, it sucks, bro. It sucks. Do you think fighters should start getting suspended for missing weight? That's what I just said. Reform. I think there should be some type of consequence for that, man. Like I think you should be suspended. I think you should be I think you should be fined and suspended. And I don't give a fuck if you're gonna have to figure that shit out. You know what I mean? Oh, well, I didn't even get paid for the fight. Yeah, bitch, because you ain't make weight. Now you're gonna get fined. You know what I'm saying? Then on top of that, you should be suspended. Yes, you should be suspended for a good amount of time for that. You know what I mean? Z said they fight check need to be deducted as well. Well, that's usually what happens when you miss weight, Z. I don't know if you know that. But like let's say a fighter's 2 or 3 pounds overweight. Them motherfuckers, if it's an elite level fight, bro, they could take a lot of money, like 50,000 a pound, or if it was like really high stakes, like 100,000 a pound, like that shit that happens. You know what I'm saying? Tego was never gonna fight Tito. Well, if that's the case, you wasting people's time and you really need to be, suspended. See, I'd have suspended his ass a whole year. Think about the shit that you doing, little nigga. The fuck is you talking about? Your pockets need to be touched if you being unprofessional. Bingo. Exactly. T says, do you think Tito could have beaten him 10 pounds over? I believe so, but the whole thing is he shouldn't have to. You know what I'm saying? I think that something just tells me that Tago, whatever the fuck his name is, wasn't ready. You know what I mean? He didn't train properly. He probably had a horrible training camp. And if he was 150 pounds, I think Tito still would have stepped on him. However, Tito and his team shouldn't even think about taking that type of risk because at the end of the day, they sacrificed. They had to engage in a lot of shit in order to make weight. They had to really lock in. He should have done the same. And maybe they thought by coming overweight that Tito would just accept it after, receiving a little paycheck. Nah, man. No, not at all. Like, I personally wouldn't put my fighter in that situation, especially if they're an upcoming fighter that's, at contender status. I'm not taking no unnecessary risk like that because somebody wants to be unprofessional. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to sit. Like, if we 2, 3, 4 fights away from possibly fighting for a world title or becoming a mandatory, I'm not gonna take a fucking I'm not gonna be that desperate to fight where I'm gonna allow an opponent to be 10 pounds heavier than my son to weigh in. So I can only imagine how much he'll weigh more than Tito Marcato the day of the fight. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. How much did Ryan lose when Haney came 3 pounds over? With Haney coming 3 pounds over. I heard he paid a nice little price. Ryan lost a lot of money in that fight, like overall. You know what I'm saying? Like 7 figures plus for sure. Tito said he still wanted to fight, but it's understandable they wouldn't allow it. Yeah, look, I get it. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I understand he's a fighter, so of course he wants to fight, and maybe he feels like the motherfucker could weigh 180 and can't beat him. That's just the mentality of a fighter. That's just that fighter spirit that Tito has. You know what I'm saying? However, your team should be the one to step in and be like, we're not doing any of that. You're not going to have an unfair advantage over any of my fighters. That's why it's really important to have a team around you. Because let's say hypothetically, and I doubt it, but let's say hypothetically speaking that, Tago was actually in phenomenal shape. Let's say he was actually in phenomenal shape, but he just purposely came in heavy. And then let's say he rehydrates to 165. While Mercado probably only rehydrates to 152. And, that extra weight, really plays to Tago's advantage. And he might actually get the win because he has an unfair advantage. You know what I'm saying? Like, those things can happen. Those things could definitely happen. So, you know what I mean? That's why you need to have a good team around you, because they save you from yourself. You feel me? She just said in her nightcap now. Who do I have? Who I got? Mark, Clarissa, or Tam? Well, listen, I'm a big fan of Tam to both. You know what I'm saying? I told y'all from her pro debut that she was going to be an absolute problem, and I had no doubt in my mind that she'll be a world champion. However, Clarissa Shields is a lot more experienced and seasoned than Tam Tabol. Tam Tabol has a extensive amateur background, for what I understand, a lot of international experience, but even then, she's not more experienced than Clarissa Shields, who's a 2-time gold medalist. Clarissa Shields' hand speed, her output, it's going to be a problem for just about anybody, and she's an absolute dog, too. She comes in phenomenal shape, and Tam Tabol became a unified champion and a Ring Magazine champion in 5 professional fights, and I don't think no man or woman has been able to accomplish that until she did. So that's a historical feat. But I do think that she is this is an uphill battle for Tam Tabol. Now, if Tam could actually beat a tall southpaw that she is and keep Clarissa at the end of her punches and just continuously turn her, maybe she could give Clarissa some fits, but I just think that Clarissa's too fast. I think her cardio too good, like her overall conditioning. And I don't know, man. Like I just don't see Tam Tabol defeating, Clarissa Shields. To be honest with you, I don't see anybody in female boxing beating Clarissa Shields. I think she's the best female fighter in the world, hands down, no debating. So as much as I like Tam Tabol, you know what I mean? Even though she fucking, bro, ain't nobody do me dirtier than Tam Tabol when it comes to like interviews and shit like that. For the most part, they usually respond, and they just say that they're not available or they'll be available after camp and shit like that. Like Tam Tabol has ignored every fucking DM. She's ignored every fucking comment that I put on her page. I don't know what the fuck is her problem. But or she just doesn't want to do interviews. I don't know. But I've been real high on Tam Tabol, and she's been proving me right so far. But I do think Clarissa's just a little bit too much for her at this stage of her career. I do think that the longer they wait for Tam Tabol, the worse it'll be. You know what I'm saying? But overall, Clarissa's too much for her right now. You know what I mean? And Tam was getting hurt, getting hit clean her last fight, getting into like, I don't know exactly what that was. I don't know if she had an adrenaline dump. I don't know if she was just like in the moment and just was spaced out. Like she made it into a brawl, and I don't think she really had to do that, to be honest with you. But Bella Face said I got her doing Tam like Perkins. I do think Tam is better than Perkins, but I can see why you say that because Perkins was tall and shit like that. But Tam is a lot better than Perkins in my opinion. A lot more experience too. But if Tam somehow, some way gets into phenomenal shape, because the thing is, with a girl like Clarissa Shields, she is beatable. I don't give a fuck what everybody's talking about. Everybody's beatable in the sport of boxing. It's her work rate. Clarissa Shields, I think that's what sets her apart from all the different women. She's a dog. She comes in great fucking shape. And she lets her fucking hands go. So yeah, she only got 4 knockouts or whatever the case is. But guess what? She lets them bitches go. So, Tam could probably neutralize a lot of that output, with her range and, her distance control and shit like that. But Clarissa Shields is a lot faster than Tam to both, man. So Clarissa might be able to close that gap before Tam can even react and, really have her way, at close range or mid range. So and Tam doesn't have the best defense. You feel me? Like she not like slippery or nothing like that. Tam is like fundamentally sound. She's technical. You feel me? But she's not like elusive and got crazy head movement, can make you miss, make you pay type shit. So I think she'll be in over her head against Clarissa. To be honest with you, I think MVP is going to keep Tam away from Clarissa. To be honest, yeah, that punch volume is something to deal with. Yasser Ali says Katie Taylor. What about her? Katie Taylor's not better than Clarissa Shields, not at all. She actually has a loss. Of course, she avenged it, but she suffered a loss in her career before. Clarissa Shields hasn't in her career. I thought 2 out of the 3 fights with Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor lost. That's just my opinion. You know what I mean? So it's like I never viewed Katie Taylor. Like, you got to understand, like, Katie Taylor has been favored by the media damn near her whole career. And Katie Taylor does have a nice resume, yes, but she doesn't have the accolades that Clarissa Shields has. She isn't dominating in her section like Clarissa Shields is. Like there was a point in time where Katie Taylor won Fighter of the Year, Female Fighter of the Year, and she lost that year. And I'm like, how the fuck? Like, and to me, it was clearly Amanda Serrano. I thought she clearly won Fighter of the Year just based off of what she did. Like, she had a phenomenal, I think she became undisputed that year. First female to do 12 3-minute rounds. And, like, Amanda had a phenomenal fucking year. And they gave it to Katie Taylor, and she was 1-1. I'm like, bro, y'all just like, what is it about Katie Taylor that y'all just want her to be number 1 so bad? And does she belong on the pound for pound list? Absolutely. She's top 3, she's maybe number 2. You feel me? But come on, bro. Like, come on, bro. She's not better than Clarissa Shields, and they know that. They just don't like Clarissa Shields. They don't like her energy. They don't like her confidence. They don't like the fact that she outspoken. But, bro, Clarissa Shields really out here dominating. You feel me? Yeah, I thought Katie Taylor lost the first and second fight with Amanda Serrano. The third fight, I don't know what the fuck Amanda was doing, but Amanda said, the first 2 times when I brought the fight to her, they kept giving it to her, so I just wanted to try something else. Foolish, in my opinion, but, I understand Amanda's perspective at the same time. They just kept giving it to Katie Taylor, no matter what. And Katie Taylor, she fought well in them Amanda Serrano fights. I just thought that Amanda Serrano's aggression was very effective. I thought she was controlling the pace of the fight. I thought she was landing the harder, cleaner shots throughout the majority of the rounds. But, it is what it is. I don't have her as being pound for pound number 1. And she's definitely not a better fighter than Clarissa Shields. And she hasn't accomplished what Clarissa Shields has accomplished. Does she have a better resume? Yeah, but, that's by default because the better female boxers are in the lower divisions. Clarissa can't help that she was 100. She started at 154 and was able to acclimate the heavyweight. She can't help that. She can't help that she's not small like them girls. She cannot help that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. Yeah, Clarissa is pound for pound number 1. Like I don't think it's a debate neither. But you remember, look, they did the Bella. That's what they do to black fighters because you remember when Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford was doing anything simultaneously post Mayweather era. They were trying to put Lomachenko over them. They were trying to put Lomachenko. They tried to erase that loss off his record. ESPN was promoted him as a undefeated fighter and shit like that. Like they'll show him in the crowd, and then they'll say Vasil Lomachenko, and then underneath on the subheading of the banner it says 14-0 with 11 knockouts or whatever the fuck it was. And I'm like, what? Like, what? Where the fuck y'all get this from? Like, who? Bro, he started his career 1-1. But they don't want them to know that because they're trying to push this agenda. Just like, and this is why Paulie Malignaggi got fired from Showtime because he was running around saying the superior race is going to win at the end of the day. Nigga, what superior race? So Paulie was alluding to the European fighter being the superior race when it comes to boxing. Historically, that's never been accurate. And Paulie, you were never. If you're a European, if the European fighter is the superior race, then why wasn't you at the top of your game? You lost to everybody and their mom. Why the fuck? Why weren't you superior if that's the case? Fucking Cotto beat your ass, swelled your shit up, had you looking stupid. Danny Garcia stopped. All you do is get your ass whooped by Puerto Ricans. And then Sean Porter has you, slumped all over the ring and shit. You got beat up by a nigga named Sam Eggington. Boom. All you did was get your ass whooped in your career. You lost to Broner, who wasn't even fucking training for real. He was fucking your bitch the whole lead up to the fight and then beat you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be understanding these dudes, man. Yeah, Cotto broke his shit. I remember that. Now, Paulie fought any and everybody. Yes, he did. And he won multiple world titles. Yes, but you know what I'm saying? If the European fighter is a superior race, then why the fuck why wasn't you at the top of the boxing game? Because you're European, right? Like you're Italian. You still you know what I'm saying? You still out here getting beat up in bare knuckle fights and shit like that. Talking about you gotta pay for you still gotta pay off your mortgage. Like, come on, bro. Stop it. Teddy Atlas, no, he didn't believe that shit when he said Loma was pirate. But the thing is, Ralph, he did believe that shit. Well, you may be right. He ain't believe that shit, but that's what he wanted to believe. That's the textbook definition of delusion. You know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers will be like, they'll know some shit ain't true, but they'll say it so it could, like they trying to manifest it being a reality, and it never has been. Like, Teddy, he's a pink person. Loma, he's a pink person. Pink people got a lot of pride within themselves, so they want to identify with motherfuckers who are at the top of the game. You feel me? Like, them niggas right now, they want Vito Milnicki to be the man so bad. They wanted Caleb Plant to be the man so bad. You know what? They don't even fuck with Caleb Plant like that because he down with us. He fuck with us. So they don't even back Caleb. Caleb got to be the only white motherfucker in boxing history that didn't have the white people behind him. And that's because he was a little hood motherfucker from Tennessee. And he loved black folk. He stopped training with them pink people to train with the black folk. So they didn't fuck with him. Caleb be politicking. I seen Caleb politicking with the Mexicans down in Vegas. Them niggas, you know what I'm saying? The boxing greats were out for Clarissa. Absolutely. There's a lot of people in the crowd. Floyd Mayweather, I personally think they paid Floyd to go over there. That's what I think. Because that nigga, when I say he showed up to the fight like very early, I'm like, nigga, you was contractually obligated to come here. This nigga was there for the weigh-ins and all. Like Floyd had business there, but regardless, he showed up. He didn't have to take that money. You feel me? Floyd was there. Bud was there. Bud always supporting Clarissa. Shakur was there. Keyshawn, I seen you was there. You was dumb quiet though. I thought you was gonna do a live and speak on the shit, but you've been dumb quiet. But who else? Shane. I seen Shane. Shitty Shane. As Floyd Mayweather would say, shitty Shane. Let me stop playing. You know, the legend, Shane Mosley, was in the building. It was a lot of people out there, man. You know what I mean? I fuck with it, but Clarissa bring them people out. Clarissa, I don't know if she did this intentionally or not, but Clarissa, you know, with being, you know, with Pat Poose and shit like that, she's been able to bring over the reality, you know, like the music industry to be, you know, and to be involved in her fights. And then she also was able, with Win Records, able to get like the reality TV side involved with her fights. So she's bringing a totally separate audience outside of the hardcore and boxing casual fans to watch her fights. And that's, bro, like I ain't gonna lie, like I was working and shit like that, and I was hearing some people talk, and they're like, yo, they giving the fights tonight. And these, you could tell these people don't know nothing about boxing, but you know, they was like little ratchet joints from the hood or whatever. So, you know, they be watching baddies and, you know, the Zeus Network and all that. Like, that's where them hood rats be thriving. You know what I'm saying? They ain't got no money, crib dirty as shit. They got a Zeus subscription because they need to watch they fucking baddie show every Wednesday night. You know what I'm saying? So they was like, oh yeah. I don't even know, these Big Lex is fighting this girl, and you know what I'm saying? Oh man, we gotta see that. You know, them girls, they be fighting for real. Ray J fighting Orlando Brown. You know what I'm saying? Like they a lot of people look at it like it's a circus show, but at the end of the day, you're bringing a whole different audience into the sport of boxing, and the more different audience, the more variety of audiences you bring to, you know, the sport, the more money you're gonna make, because they're gonna pay to come see you. And Clarissa, male or female, is one of the biggest ticket sellers in boxing. Said Big Lex look that big Lex shawty looked all right in them clips. What you mean by all right? You talking about her boxing skills or her looks? She looked like she was like Puerto Rican or some shit. What is that girl? She like she let me see. Oh, she's black and Mexican. Okay. Yeah, she looked like she was Hispanic or something. This nigga said Cookie Monster PJs got hot Cheeto crumbs on them. Oh yeah, you know, yeah. Now it's that, you know, they done abandoned. I could tell you ain't been in the States in a while. They abandoned them hot Cheetos, man. They fucking with them Takis now, man. Don't forget the bonnet neither. They be tripping. Big Lex will beat Ray J and Orlando Brown in the same night. Yeah, that shit was crazy. But I was low-key happy for Ray J, man. You know why? Because the last time we seen Ray J, he got slumped. You know what I'm saying? He got slumped. You feel me? Like, I mean, super hot fire hit him with some hot shit. Gave him a nice little lump on his head. Damn near put him to sleep. So Ray J actually got some heart to get knocked out in the ring and then come back and fight again. That shit would have scared a lot of niggas straight. I'm like, you know what? No, Ray J got some heart. Nigga can't fight worth shit. He definitely don't take the sport serious, but for him to face that type of adversity and still had the courage to keep fighting, that says a lot about Ray J, man. I'm trying to tell you, getting knocked out, I haven't experienced that, thank God. And I hope I never do. Not saying it can't, but I hope it never do. That got to be a very traumatizing experience. You know what I'm saying? Do they still be wearing them Cookie Monster PJs? I haven't seen them in a while, but you know, they still be wearing pajamas, that's for sure. Ray J Comeback Fighter of the Year. Yeah, he might win that award on MAZUMA TV, man. MAZUMA TV Awards, man. He might win. Ray J might win Comeback Fighter of the Year. They put the Takis down. They fucking with the Kool-Aid pineapples now. Yeah. I've been seeing that. But those different type of snacks, though, Jay. The Takis are still around. Trust me. Yeah, a lot of people were saying that Big Legs was actually boxing all right. So maybe she got some experience. You know, she black and she Mexican. So, you know, both sides they big on boxing. But I thought y'all was talking about her looks. I'm like, she looked like she was a little nice looking John. You know what I'm saying? She ain't look ugly. Let me see what she look like. Uh, she ain't for me, but her eyebrows kind of. She actually looks alright. No, no, she looked different. A lot of different pictures. So I don't know. She actually played ball too. Oh, so she just an athlete. She just an athlete, huh? Okay, she an athlete for real. Okay, okay. And she looked tall too. How tall is this girl? She looked a lot taller than the other one. She five. She 5'10", 5'11". Okay. Yeah, she's tall. Anyways, man, shout out to my boy Jalil Aziz with the 10 jewels. Appreciate you, brother. Shout out to Philly. We in the building. My boy Trick said she was training with Clarissa for camp. Well, that's a huge advantage. She used to play basketball. Yeah, I seen her with a basketball jersey on. See, bro, you know what I'm saying? What J. Cole said, I don't fuck with bitches from reality shows. Out of touch with reality hoes. Yeah, I don't be paying attention to them reality Jones. I really don't. But salute to him. My boy Trick said, "Who do you got, Vergil or Charlo?" Now, if Charlo was actually active at the top of his game, you know what I mean. I probably would favor him just based off his championship level experience. You know what I'm saying? His durability, his punching power. You know what I'm saying? Like he probably would have hurt Virgil. I ain't gonna lie. Like at his peak when he was fighting Tony Harrison and when he was on that run, and he was really doing his thing, knocking out Brian Castano and all that. That would have been a fucking hell of a fight. I ain't gonna lie, that would have been a banger. But you know, with Charlo being inactive, you know, being in his mid 30s, you know what I'm saying, and just having zero momentum whatsoever, you know, like Virgil may have the advantage, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. If Charlo's still the same, then we in for a hell of a fight. But you know, just based off of like what you've done for me lately, like Virgil would probably have the advantage, man. Like he really would, and I wouldn't trust Charlo going into a fight with Virgil coming off of that type of layoff and inactivity. I don't trust him. You feel me? I don't trust his character. Period. Because you know all that tough shit, all that barking he was doing when he got in front of that redhead Mexican motherfucker. He started acting right. He started being real cool. But I mean, I don't think Virgil knocks Charlo out, man. Charlo knows he's intelligent enough to know how to, you know, survive and shit like that. And he comes in pretty good shape. So um Virgil will probably win the unanimous decision, but you know, Charlo, anything like how he was coming up, Charlo would probably really hurt Virgil, man. Like Charlo was defensively responsible. He had a good jab, good one too, and he punched with bad intentions, man. And Virgil get emotional. He like to bang and shit. That would have been a hell of a fight. I ain't gonna lie. Ooh, my boy Dominique in the building said, "What if Charlo sleep Virgil off the couch after 3 years?" Now he right back in the mix, bro. If he do that, that's gonna be very fucking impressive. First of all, if he does that. Second of all, if he beats Virgil like that coming off the couch, and his next fight gotta be for a world title. Because you already know what's gonna happen. Jamel gonna get that WBC interim off Virgil. They're gonna be looking at, PBC versus PBC, bro. Jamel and Fundora, and I heard Fundora been interested in that Jamel Charlo fight too. So I could see Jamel getting a straight ticket over to a Fundora fight for sure. Josue in the building said, any truth to Vergil and Charlo? I don't know any truth about that, brother. As a matter of fact, let me go ahead and play this Robert Garcia video because I wanted to touch on this subject because, yeah, I think that this is going to be important. So for everybody that's speaking on this Vergil and Jermell Charlo fight, I don't know. I just know that Vergil should be coming back in November, according to Rick Meridian, but I haven't heard any solid opponents as of yet. Saying now Dominic saying he heard Vergil versus Murtazalia was next. See, I don't know what to believe. It just sounds like a bunch of rumors. So, anyways, let's listen to Robert Garcia because we were speaking on him previously. And, Robert Garcia was basically trying to, belittle Boots' next opponent and, most likely it being Josh Kelly and saying that, Josh Kelly isn't fully healed yet. And if Boots were to fight him, then, he would be taking advantage of him. And, because if you're open to taking advantage of Josh Kelly, that just means you don't want to fight Vergil. Just pretty much insinuating that if Boots fights Josh Kelly, then he's a duck, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever because not too long ago, we seen Boots doing everything he can to try to make the fight happen. Boots ended up getting a great opportunity against Xander, took advantage of it, and now he steps ahead of y'all. But I remember clear as day before Boots had titles, Vergil Ortiz's team was saying that, Boots, he didn't earn it. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't deserve an opportunity at Vergil. So now that the tables are turned, now everybody's Boots needs to fight Vergil. He shouldn't fight Josh Kelly. Why not? Josh Kelly had a minor surgery that said that it would take 8 weeks to heal. You know what I'm saying? So we probably near that halfway mark on the recovery stages right now. And that's plenty of time for them to make a fight happen in November. I don't see what the issue is, but Robert Garcia is back with another interview on Fight Hype. Shout out to Fight Hype for the content. And the caption goes, and the title goes as follows. Robert Garcia tells Boots Ennis to kick rocks. Reveals Vergil Ortiz moving up to 160 pounds. Now, telling a unified world champion to kick rocks as if you're somebody is fucking hilarious. But nonetheless, let's get into this interview.
Speaking of world champions, right? We didn't get really into it a lot. Boots got those titles. Saw Vergil walking here today. That's the fight a lot of people want to see.
Yes.
Boots is saying, we got titles now. Vergil got to kind of wait. He wants to unify. He wants to go from.
By the way, I never heard Boots say that. I only ever heard Eddie Hearn say that. So that was a bit misleading from the reporter.
Undisputed. Josh Kelly's on the table. Findora. I ran into him in Los Angeles at a press conference. He even said that after this fight, he wants Boots or the winner of Boots and Kelly. It looks like they're trying to make the 154 division undisputed. And that's kind of edging Vergil out right there. What are your thoughts on that one?
Look, the fight we're pushing for is Boots. And in this situation, because in other situations like Fundora is a big name also, a big fight. But if you're fighting Josh Kelly, who just fought and got a huge cut in his nose, it's huge. That cut is not going to heal by November or December. That boy needs to fight till next year. But if they get him approved, doctors approve it that he's ready to fight and this and that, it's because they're kind of forcing him. And Kelly's also going to make the biggest fight of his career. He could lose to anybody else for a lot less money, so he's going to take it. He's going to take that risk and take that fight. But Boots versus Vergil is 10 times bigger.
Yeah.
10 times bigger. So if Boots really wants to prove to the world that he's the best 154, he needs to fight Vergil. And that's the fight we want next. We don't need no tune-up fight. We don't want no stay busy fight, comeback fight. No, that's the fight we want. And if not, we're not going to wait for him.
I was gonna say, if not, and you don't wait for him, who then is on the hit list, so to speak?
Look, I could say Fundora. We could force the WBC to mandate, because we're the interim champions. After Fundora's next fight, we could force the WBC to mandate that fight. And if that was to happen, then that would be beautiful. But guess what? A unification for undisputed beats the mandatory. So if Boots beats,
so why not order it immediately after the Ermal fight that Fundora has? That way, you know what I mean? Boots and them can't interfere because they'll be caught up in their Josh Kelly unification fight. Like, it's not like, because once the WBC orders it or mandates it, whatever the case is, and yo, once y'all go to purse bid or whatever, Boots and them can't get in the way of that. I mean, they're just gonna have to wait for that shit to, once it's ordered, it's ordered. You know, Boots and them can't step in and be like, you know what, man, fuck that mandatory. We're gonna fight for undisputed. It's not what the case is. It's all a matter of who, takes the initiative first. Boots and them are not gonna take that initiative when they're in the middle of a fight with Josh Kelly or in the middle of a training camp with Josh Kelly. So why don't y'all take the fucking chance? Why don't y'all immediately after that Ermal fight, whoever wins between Ermal and Fundora, contact the WBC, make us the mandatory. Make us the mandatory. Because Mauricio said all y'all had to do was just ask him. He said all you had to do was just ask him. You feel me? They just said fight Bakram. I wouldn't fight Bakram. I wouldn't fight Bakram if I could possibly be Fundora's mandatory and fight for the full-fledged WBC title. Mauricio said all y'all got to do is ask him and he'll mandate y'all or he'll get it done for y'all. So why not do that immediately after Fundora's fight? Supposedly he's fighting in September. That's what they're saying. So if that's the case, immediately after the week of that fight being done, reach out to WBC. We need that fight. We're ready for that fight. So it seems like Robert is already coming together with some type of excuse for why that fight with Fundora can't happen. What's up? This nigga said Maluma. He said, what's up, Maluma? Please respect La Raza. I do respect the Raza. I fuck with La Raza. I fuck with y'all. I never said nothing disrespectful to y'all.
Cali and Fundora wins his next fight, they're probably going to go for undisputed, so they're going to leave us out again. Fundora is going to go for undisputed rather than go against Vergil.
Yeah.
So 100% is they're forcing us to just wait at least another year. At least another year. We're not going to do that.
Is there thoughts maybe moving up, go to 160?
Why not?
Who would you want to fight at 160?
What's his name? Tim Tszyu.
Tim Tszyu? Okay.
Tim Tszyu. He just had a great win.
Tim Tszyu. Y'all want to fight Boots at 154. For some reason, Fundora is not your priority. Even though y'all can ask to be mandated after his next fight. But 160 sounds like the move for y'all. And y'all first opponent y'all considering at 160 is Tim Tszyu. How about a fucking champion at 160, bro? Agent 86 at Fundora beat Tim 2 times. True. But my whole thing is, if y'all title chasing how y'all claim, why not move up to 160 and challenge a world champion up there? Like, I don't understand that. Who's the let me take a look at something real quick, right? Because you're the WBC interim champion, right, Vergil? So let's take a look. Hold on. Let's take a look, man. Because I don't be understanding, to be honest with you. Let me look at middleweight. Because you're the WBC interim champion, right? So maybe, just maybe, if you move up to 160 pounds, you could fight the WBC interim champion at 160, or maybe the full-fledged champion. You know, that's Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames is looking for a fight. He keep calling everybody out between 160 to 168. He claimed nobody wants to fight him. Why not pull his motherfucking card while you up there? Or fight another young Mexican-American motherfucker like you, like Jesus Ramos, grab that WBC interim title. 160 is wide open. Go fucking fight the WBC champion that's having trouble getting a fucking fight right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. Like, Tim Tszyu, this motherfucker, is Tim Tszyu ranked anywhere in any of these sanctioning bodies at 160? I see him ranked in the WBO at number 2 and number 3 in the WBC. Why fight a contender if you claim to be world title, how many contenders you want to fight, Vergil? Like, how many contenders y'all want to fight? How many non-titleists y'all want to keep fighting? Bro, y'all the motherfuckers ain't got no time to waste. Y'all need to go ahead and fight champions. You have to. Why are y'all so hesitant to fight for world titles? I'm confused. Let's continue.
And good performance.
He looked good against Earl.
We would love that.
Yeah. How did you
Charlo, whichever one of those Charlos. Yes. Yes. We can't wait. Look, Vergil's not gonna at 154, Vergil's not gonna get that title shot for at least another year. And we're gonna wait. We're not gonna wait. We move on, even though they're not title fights, they're bigger fights, they're big fights. Tim Tsz's a huge fight.
Yeah.
Charlo would be a huge fight.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fights at 160. There's champions that I'm pretty sure at 160 are willing to fight Vergil.
Yeah, and then 160 kind of feels a little open too.
It's a little open right now.
Yeah, there's some young fighters. I know there's Amari Jones out there. There's a lot of different fighters at 160. Even Zayas is moving up to 160. Is that a potential fight?
It's potential fight in the future, definitely 100%. You know, so yes, if we don't get this Boots fight by the end of this year, then we're moving on. We're not waiting for him.
Yep.
Well, you're definitely not getting that Boots fight at the end of this year, so you might as well make your middleweight debut in November. But anyways, man, that was Robert Garcia's interview with Fight Hype. Like I said, shout out to Fight Hype. Now, my reaction to this is it's confusion. I ain't gonna lie. Like I'm pretty confused with Robert Garcia's reaction, because when you're listening to the interview, you could just sense some type of frustration from Robert Garcia, and I'm having a hard time figuring out why he's frustrated at everybody else for why Vergil Ortiz can't seem to claim a world title opportunity. And I told y'all, one of Vergil Ortiz's worst qualities isn't what he does inside of the ring, is how the way he carries himself outside of the, inside of the, let me rephrase that. One of Vergil's worst qualities has nothing to do with what he does inside of the ring, but what he does outside of the ring. And what he does outside of the ring is he doesn't take control over his own career. He does not take control over his own business. He falls back. He allows the promoter and the manager to figure things out and let them guide his career. As a result of that, Vergil Ortiz has missed out on a whole lot of opportunities because his team has this insane sense of what they feel like Vergil Ortiz is worth. And as a result of that, they've fucked over Vergil Ortiz on several occasions. Like I said, that Xander Zayas Puerto Rico situation could have been a situation where Vergil Ortiz may have became a world champion and he'd be carrying the WBO, and we probably would have got that Jaron Ennis fight by now. But guess what? Because they wanted to put it, they were adamant about putting it on neutral grounds and trying to control negotiations as if they were the champions. They lost out on that fight. Then, another this wasn't a world title fight, but, the fight with Jaron Ennis, that's one of the biggest fights that could have been made in the sport of boxing, and 154 pounds overall. And we seen what happened with that. We seen Boots putting in the effort, calling out Vergil. And, I don't, to this day, when I seen Jaron Ennis with the Dallas Cowboy colors on, the white and blue, and then in the back, he's wrapping his hands, and you hear the Lil Durk song, "Oh my God, what happened to Vergil?" I thought all of that shit was Vergil. I thought that was Boots sending a message like, bro, like, after this, I'm on you. You feel what I'm saying? And he went over to Dallas. You know what I mean? He pressed Vergil after his fight with Erickson Lubin, and all I heard Vergil say was he wanted to fight Errol Spence Jr. That was his dream fight, despite a motherfucker coming to your backyard and calling you out the Rumble. Then all of a sudden, when y'all in the midst of negotiations, you and Oscar De La Hoya are at odds. Y'all having, Vergil Ortiz's manager and Oscar going at it on social media for months. Oscar De La Hoya putting restraining orders on y'all niggas while y'all trying to sign deals behind his back. And then as soon as, Boots and Xander get a fight going, all of a sudden y'all squash the beef, which was just odd timing to me, because that made me feel like y'all took this whole lawsuit approach purposely so y'all wouldn't have to fight Jaron Ennis. I don't know if that's true. I don't know what that is. But the timing of that just seemed very odd. And I'm not somebody who believes in coincidences most often. Like I don't believe in coincidences often. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird. So when I hear Robert Garcia do this interview with Fight Hype, and he's seemingly frustrated because his fighter Vergil can't get no opportunities, bro. Him and his team did that to themselves. There was opportunities that were available, and all we were ever met with was some type of excuses and some bullshit that prevented the fight from happening, supposedly. So I don't understand, man. Like, why are we so frustrated? Boots was trying to fight y'all before he was champion. You know what I'm saying? Now that he became world champion, now y'all just expect, Y'all just expect him to bend over backwards and give y'all opportunity. Guess what? Like Eddie Hearn and them said, yesterday's price ain't today's price. Different circumstances. So yeah, and then what will probably be crazy too, and I wouldn't be surprised neither, is if despite Jaron Ennis being a unified world champion, they still try to play hardball in negotiations or still try to make some type of demands. Like, everything that y'all did during negotiations just showed me as a fan, as somebody who's in the sport of boxing, that y'all really didn't want to fight. Oh, your name has to be first on the promotion. They wanted to be Ortiz versus Boots, not Boots versus Ortiz. Then y'all wanted the majority of the money. Then Boots couldn't wear no bright colored gloves. Like, it was just absolutely ridiculous. It was almost like y'all was looking for a reason for Boots to be like, you know what, fuck y'all niggas and just go about y'all day. That's not the approach motherfuckers take when they really want to fight. Our manager's supposed to, get the best for their fighter. Yeah, but what manager who really believes in their product, that really believes in their fighter, is looking for, like, who the fuck asks for you can't wear no bright colored gloves, nigga? Like, what? Y'all motherfuckers over here analyzing his outfits, and y'all so intimidated by the nigga. Y'all want him to wear just regular colors? Like, the nigga just gotta, you can only wear black, white, or gray, nigga. That's it. It's like, what the fuck? Shit is ridiculous. So, like, I don't understand Robert Garcia's, oh, man, they're not going to give us a fight till, next year, and that's minimum. All right. Y'all did that to yourselves, man. If y'all going to be mad at anybody, be mad at Vergil. Be mad at his team. Be mad at Vergil's team because they doing they carrying shit the wrong way in negotiations, and blame Vergil because he condoning that shit. Y'all pointing the finger at everybody else, and y'all lacking all accountability and, playing a part in why these fights didn't happen. Y'all did this shit to yourselves, I'm telling you. Yeah, they was going to try to make Boots shave his whole beard. Yeah, they weird, bro. They weird. But to me, like, niggas don't do that shit when they really want to rumble or really believe in themselves. So that's my whole take on that interview with Robert Garcia. Fuck with Robert Garcia. I respect La Raza. I do. Shout out to my Mexican brothers and sisters. And this ain't got nothing to do with these motherfuckers being Mexican. You know what I'm saying? We hold motherfuckers accountable regardless of what their nationality, race, or ethnicity is. You feel me? It's really that simple to me. Let's see. But Xander asked Boots to cut his beard. Well, the commission, they were just following through with what the commission rules were. And they was playing psychological games. But you know what the difference is between Xander and Vergil? Xander signed to fight Boots. He fought Boots. So, you know what I'm saying? At that point, it's psychological games. If you're making these outrageous demands, and you haven't signed and no fight is made, it sounds like you just on some bitch shit. But if you sign to fight a nigga and then you start throwing like little stipulations and you playing psychological, you playing psychological games. But if you're not signing to fight a motherfucker and you making all these crazy requests, to me it just sounds like you don't want to fight. He said, I understand the glitter, though. The light hits the glitter and it shines in their eyes. It could cause seizures. Does Vergil have a history of seizures? Like, what the fuck? Like, come on, bro. That's a bit excessive, bro. To be honest, if you having seizures because of bright lights and shit, like bright colors, you probably shouldn't be boxing, bro. Like I know Vergil got rhabdo, whatever the fuck the case is. They ain't got shit to do with motherfucking colors being too bright for their eyes or glitter. How do I see Xander versus Vergil going? I think Vergil. I would favor Vergil, man. I would favor Vergil. I think Vergil is better than Xander. Xander could box, you know what I'm saying? He got good combinations. He light on his feet. He turned he gonna be turning Vergil and shit like that. But I think Virgil's aggression, hand speed, explosiveness is out. His output too. I think he'll get the better of the exchanges with Xander. Fandora and Ortiz saw Xander and Boots third round. They said that's all they needed to see. Well, yeah, I mean, if that's all you needed to see, then fight the nigga next. You know what I mean? Especially if you Fandora. If that's all you needed to see, then make the fight happen next. And show niggas what you needed to see. Expose what you saw. You know what I mean? Like, listen. I don't really understand that. Trick said Xander gave Boots a better opportunity than Ortiz. It's facts. Boots got the fight in the East Coast and got a 50-50. Xander was being petty towards Ortiz. Not necessarily because what you're not taking into consideration, Tricks, was there was an agreement already made between Top Rank and Xander that if he won a world title, his first title defense would be in Puerto Rico. That was established way before Xander ever became a world champion. So he was following through with his agreement. I don't think Xander was being petty at all because at the end of the day, he was willing to give Vergil an opportunity according to himself. According to Xander, he was willing to give Vergil that opportunity. The only stipulation was come to Puerto Rico. And you know why? You know why Xander gave Boots a better opportunity than Ortiz? Because for one, fucking Jerron Ennis already solidified himself and being a unified world champion, something Vergil Ortiz has never done. Then on top of that, Boots has shown a fucking track record of selling very well on the East Coast, something Vergil Ortiz has never done. Motherfucker, what they say, he had a million plus gate in Atlantic City. Motherfucker had 16,000 people at the Wells Fargo Center, then 14,000 the other time. Like, bro, it's a no-brainer to put that fight on the East Coast. Jerron Ennis, more accomplished, bigger set, bigger draw. You know what I'm saying? He got it. Boots got an East Coast following. The majority of Puerto Ricans is on the East Coast. It was a no-brainer to put the fight on the East Coast. Do Vergil got a history of selling on the East Coast? Does he have a history of selling at all? Let me know right now. Vergil was selling out the fucking Cowboy Stadium and shit like that. You know what I mean? Like if he was selling that shit out, or he went down Cali and he was selling out crazy over there, Vegas selling out crazy over there, and it was like, all right, Xander, like, you know what I mean? It would make more sense to put it over here because Vergil really a draw over here. Y'all can get to some big money. It's not the case. That's why Vergil been trying to solidify a fight with one of these other big Texans like Earl Spencer, who was doing crazy numbers at Dallas, because Vergil don't do no fucking numbers in his own hometown. You feel me? Xander was being petty towards Ortiz. I don't think so. I think he was being realistic with Ortiz. Then on top of that, when you a champion, a fucking challenger can't tell you where to fight unless you really putting asses in the seats. You can't be telling a fucking champion where he could fight at. The fuck? Tricks, can you imagine you being a world champ? You just won your first world title. You on a high right now, bro. You on a high right now, and you feeling yourself. This motherfucker Vergil keep running his mouth, right? So you already got some shit set in sights where it's like, all right, bro, my next fight gonna be in Puerto Rico. I already got a venue. That's the thing. Xander already had a venue. He already had a date. He's not gonna step outside of that to accommodate Vergil Ortiz, who's not a fucking draw anywhere he fights, not even in his hometown. Okay, cool. You want to fight? We already got the venue. We already got the date. Bring your ass over here. Oh no, this needs to be in a neutral location. And Tricks, I'm sure in your head you like, nigga, who the fuck you talking to? You stupid nigga. I'm the fucking champion. I'm telling you what it is. You ain't about to fucking tell me how the fuck I'm gonna go about my first title defense. You want this belt? Come get it, nigga. You don't want to stay where the fuck you at. And what he did, fought Erickson Lubin. Wow. All that shit, Vergil, and I'm talking. You better fight somebody solid. You better fight a really good fighter your next fight. Oh, if he fights Josh Kelly, he'll be taking advantage of Josh Kelly. Bro, y'all was trying to take advantage of Errol Spence fucking Jr. What are you talking about? Yo, you peeping that shit? I think you were just trying to fight an old washed up ass Errol Spence Jr. Oh, that's my dream fight. Nigga flew out a fucking car, got the dog shit beat out of him by Bud, and sat his ass down for damn near 3 years. You ever talking about that shit dream fight? No, you trying to take advantage of a nigga. Josh Kelly actually won his last fight. Motherfucker had a little surgery on his nose. Oh, if you fight Josh Kelly next, you're taking advantage of him. And Bro, if it was really that bad, a doctor wouldn't clear him for November. What the fuck is you talking about? It ain't that fucking bad if it only requires 8 weeks to heal. It's not that big of a deal, bro. So we really, motherfuckers need to stop trying to paint this picture like, Boots taking advantage of Josh Kelly. Never. What are you talking about? Motherfuckers are world champion just like Boots. They got every right to fight. Why don't you do your part? Because I don't understand why Boots need to go ahead and fight everybody at 54. Like I said, Vergil needs to take the steps. He needs to take the initiative and making himself the mandatory contender for Sebastian Fundora's world title. Mauricio said, and he probably full of shit, like y'all said in the comments. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? He said all you got to do is ask for it. So pull the nigga card and ask for it. If they still don't follow through with what they say, then whatever. It is what it is. But the fact that Mauricio out here is saying that all you got to do is ask for it as if y'all have never asked for it, that shit is weird to me. You know what I mean? Bella said, Tricks, it's true the WBC is full of ish, but let's be real. So is Vergil and his team. Dude that's fought in 3 divisions and not one in a championship fight. And not fought in a championship fight. Yeah. And, bro, like, there's no way, bro. Like, all these other dudes are getting world title opportunities except Vergil. How are all these people that came up before Vergil, after Vergil, they've all been able to get in the ring and fight for fucking world titles? This dude Vergil been at 140. He's been at 147. He's been at 154. They talking about he about to go to 160. This nigga done ran through 4 divisions. Well, about to. He's ran through 3 divisions thus far. He wants to be acknowledged as like this top fucking guy, but you haven't even contested for a fucking world title. The closest you ever got was a WBC interim. That is not a world title. How are guys like Xander Zayas getting world titles and fighting for world titles? How is Boots fighting for world titles? How the fuck is MAZUMA fighting for world titles? How are all these dudes at junior middleweight, Bakram Murtazaliev, Tim Tszyu, Jermell Charlo, all of these dudes have been able to either fight for a world title or contest for one, and you haven't done neither. And you want us to believe that it's because niggas don't want to fight you? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that everybody's the problem. I think it's you. Everybody has been able to successfully either fight for a world title or become world champion or both. Why have you not been able to do any of that? You are not that fucking dangerous. We seen chinks in your armor years ago. You are a very beatable fighter. With the right style, you would get exposed. How the fuck you want us to believe that you haven't fought for a world title because nobody's giving you an opportunity or nobody wants to fight you? I don't believe that. I think you're full of shit. I think your team has made some dumbass moves in your career. Don't take my word for it, nigga. Just ask Oscar. I think he played a part too. But he even came out and said that your management is fucking horrible. That Rick Meridian is a piece of shit. All types of shit. I think they've gotten in the way of your ultimate goal. I think your team is doing you a strong disservice, but you believe in these niggas so much. You allow them to continue to put you in fucked up situations. Nigga, this ain't gonna be the Charles Barkley of boxing. But at least Charles Barkley, I can't even say that. I can't even say that. Because Charles Barkley at least competed for a championship. You haven't. I would respect Vergil more if he fought for a world title and lost rather than not fight for one at all. Boots called Vergil his easiest fight at 54. He talking spicy. Boots talking spicy. If he said that, I think I did see that. But if that's what he really said, then that's his opinion. Yo-Yo and Adames will pull Vergil's card just like Boots did. See, that's my thing, right? Let's say you're just completely blackballed at 154-pound division. You cannot get a WBC world title. You cannot fight for the WBC. All right, like Robert Garcia said, y'all said that's another thing. Robert Garcia said, hold on, let me hide this comment. Robert Garcia said that Vergil Ortiz would fight Boots with no tune-up. No tune-up, right? So let's say the Boots fight not available at the end of this year. Do what you said, Robert, because Robert said, we don't get that fight by the end of this year, we moving on. You're not fighting Boots at the end of this year. It's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That Josh Kelly fight basically locked the fuck in from what I heard. So just based off of that, go to 160. You got a relationship with the WBC. Tell that nigga Mauricio to get you a fucking fight with Carlos Adames. I'm sure he'll let you skip the line. You know what I mean? Jesus Ramos could wait, right? Skip the line and fight Carlos Adames. If you'll fight Boots with no tune-up, I'm sure you'll fight Carlos Adames with no tune-up, right? Come on, man. 160 wide open, too. Ain't no definitive guy. Like, John Beck was taking the division over, but he popped positive now. He has 68. So, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and fight that motherfucker Carlos Adames at 160. He looking to rumble anybody. Other way Carlos Adames be talking on Twitter, he be talking spicy. He be talking crazy. Go calm that nigga down since you really like that. And by the time Boots goes up to 160, you'll be the man there, and he'll have to see you. How about that? Shit sounds ideal, right? Go get your first world title in your fourth division, man. It's all right. We won't judge you as long as you win a world title. We won't judge you. Trick said Vergil was supposed to fight for the WBA at 147 against Stanionis. But there was unfortunate circumstances. Vergil would have beaten Stanionis. But health issues got in the way. Stop being harsh. Tricks, first of all, you don't know if he would have beaten Stanionis. That's first of all. You don't know that. You're speaking on it definitively as if it's a reality, and it's not. The reality is we don't know what would have happened because they never fought each other. It's question marks around that. Second of all, I'm not being harsh. I'm telling you the fucking reality. I'm telling you what happened. What did I say that was not truthful? Vergil to Jeremy Lin of boxing. I'm trying to figure out where I'm going wrong with Vergil. I didn't say anything, bro. His team has made terrible business decisions on his behalf. Because if they would have made the decisions that they were supposed to make, Vergil would have been either a world champion by now or at least fought for one. Yeah, at 147, that opportunity came up short because of health issues and, Stanionis. That fight fell through a few times. But what about all the opportunities while he was healthy at 154 pounds? Didn't want to fight Bachram because he didn't want the rehydration clause. All right, cool. We let that shit slide. Mauricio out here acting like y'all don't want that Fundora fade. Fucking the Boots fight lawsuit that all of a sudden went away as soon as Boots fought somebody else. Vergil, Xander Zayas didn't want to go to Puerto Rico. It's like, what the fuck, bro? You want everybody to believe, like, all these opportunities coming up. It's like when you let's say you're doing Uber Eats or something, right? And every time you sitting here waiting for a delivery, you want to deliver this, you want to get to this money so bad, you want to deliver this food so bad, but every time an opportunity come up for you to deliver, you canceling it. But then you complaining how you not getting no big opportunities. Oh, these restaurants don't want me to deliver for them. Bitch, the few restaurants who was trying to get you to deliver food for them, but you kept declining it or kept finding a reason for why you couldn't do it. Fuck out of here. Nobody trying to hear that shit. This nigga Vergil and Keyshawn damn near moving the same way. But at least Keyshawn won a fucking world title. Brothers 735 said Boots has 2 fights at 54, already has a belt. No excuses for Ortiz. It's a fact, and he has belts, plural. Just to be clear, brothers, he has the WBA and he has the he got the WBA and the WBO. Absolutely. He got 2 belts. He's a unified champion. Remember when Robert Garcia and all of them, Vergil Ortiz, they was laughing at Boots? Oh, they said he gonna do 2-3 tune-ups. They said remember that shit? Remember Robert Garcia and them was all talking crazy about Boots? Oh, he gonna do 2 tune-ups. He gonna do 2. They said he gonna do 3 tune-ups. Well, guess what? He's a unified champion in 2, nigga. While y'all been at 160, 154 for like what, 6 fights? How many fights Vergil Ortiz got at 154? He got like 4, 5, between 4 to 6 fights at 154, and he didn't even grab a fucking world title. If anybody's doing multiple tune-ups at 54, it's you. You fought Frederick Lawson at 154, tune-up. Thomas Delorme, tune-up. Sergey Boachuk, solid fight, but no world title. Israel Madrimov, solid fight, but coming off of a loss. Erickson Lubin, that's a fucking, I'm sorry. Like, Erickson Lubin, come on, bro. He been stopped in every fight he done lost. That nigga's a tune-up, bro. Come on, man. Motherfucker look like shit against Ardell Holmes. Now you go ahead and jump right on top of the fight and fighting. Come on, man. And even the fight before that, I thought there was a lot of people who thought Lubin lost to Jesus Ramos. Stop it, man. I trying to hear that shit. My boy Chris Maldonado, what up, brother? What's going on? Xander was the tune-up. Yeah, fucking imagine a unified world champion being a tune-up. You must be I'm gonna say this. If a fucking unified world champion is a tune-up for you, you a bad motherfucker, bro. You was a bad motherfucker. Xander beat the nigga that beat Charles Conwell for his first world title, grabbed that vacant belt. The only reason why he fought for a vacant belt is because Fundora gave up the fucking title to not fight him. Remember that shit. Then he goes ahead and he beats the shit out of, I'm not going to say beat the shit out of, but he outclassed Abaz Brow, who beat the shit out of Yoenis Telez. Like, come on, bro. Xander earned them titles, regardless of what y'all say. If your second fight at 154 is a unified champion and you beat him effortlessly, and they say that a unified champion of one of the most deepest divisions in boxing is a fucking tune-up, you a bad motherfucker, bro. You a bad motherfucker. Imagine that shit. But it's just funny, right? You know, Robert Garcia sounds so mad. Oh, they black, but they black. They don't want. They freezing my fighter up. My fighter, you know, they don't want to fight him. You know, they ain't nobody gonna give him a title. We have plenty of opportunities, bro. Ain't nobody trying to hear that shit. If y'all would have went about, maybe if y'all went about them negotiations with Boots correct, you know, the professional way, and stop trying to be, trying to be greedy and take care, take control of every single part of negotiations. And then, Eddie Hearn was saying, oh, if we don't do it, then we're not fighting. If you don't give us this, then we're not fighting. If you do, like, they wanted everything their way. They was not being fair in negotiations whatsoever. Even though Boots was the bigger draw, he was the more accomplished fighter. Boots had to give into all these demands because they was on some take it or leave it type shit. Now they out here, you know what I'm saying? Begging for an opportunity to fight for Boots belts. Nah, man. Wait in line, nigga. Because y'all try to make Boots wait in line. Oh, Errol Spencer's my dream fight. Oh. Fucking jokes, bro. They fucking jokes, bro. I'm sorry. I can't. I don't feel no type of sympathy towards them motherfuckers, man. ETC said, what happened to all those options Oscar said he had? I don't know. I guess one of them options is going to be presented in November because that's what they say. That's when they say he coming back. But it just killed me that Robert, like, oh, if he fights Josh Kelly, he's taking advantage of Josh Kelly. Huh? Josh Kelly just came off a title defense. And then it's like there's plenty of fighters who done had cuts. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case is, done had cuts. You know what I mean? Them cuts heal over time and they jump back in the ring a few months later. The fuck is the difference with Josh Kelly? Oh, that cut was messed up. That's not going to heal by the end of the year. Well, I didn't know that your fucking advice was better than the doctor's because the doctor said that it's going to take 8 weeks to heal. So I didn't know that you were more knowledgeable than a doctor. Telling that nigga when he going to recover. Let me find out, Oscar. Robert, you got a motherfucking degree? You an MD, nigga? You got your doctorate? You in medicine? Cut it out, man. My boy Rouse said De La Hoya telling them they shouldn't show up to the fight in Virgil's boots. Virgil dad boots got to earn his way at that weight class. Yeah, they didn't want to fight, bro. I'm trying to tell you. That nigga Oscar said, and Boots, don't come to the fight. Because once you see Virgil, you'll get scared. Yeah. It's like, nigga, that's anything. That's anything to say, bro. You ain't about to scare no fucking Boots into saying no bullshit like that. That nigga believe in himself too much to give a fuck about what you talking about, bro. When you see Virgil's so badass. Don't come to the fight, Boots. If you see Virgil, you'll get scared. Nobody give a fuck about that, bro. And what Boots do? That motherfucker took a flight. That nigga flew right to Texas like, yo. Like Boots said them niggas wasn't even trying to let him in the arena. They didn't want to. They said Eddie Hearn had to put in a OG call with the zone. Clip, he said that at the press conference. So let's say the press conference, he said that shit on Thursday. He told them niggas days before, breathe, don't come, because y'all gonna fuck up what we got going on. We don't want the fans to keep them in this fight. We don't want this fight, so please don't come because that's gonna make fans want to fight more. We don't want that. Bro, Boots said they didn't want to let him in the arena, bro. Eddie Hearn, thank God Eddie Hearn pulled up with Boots. And fucking Eddie Hearn had to call the zone. He had to call the fucking network that they're both on so they could get into the building. That's crazy. Do that tell you that they want that fight? No. They don't sound like niggas who want to rumble. They don't sound like a promoter that wants that fight. But Oscar real scary when it comes to his fighters, man. I remember how scary Oscar was acting when bro, we can go back to the Ryan and Tank John. I remember they asked this nigga. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, Oscar really don't like his fighters. He don't really fuck with his fighters, bro. They just dollar signs to him. They asked this nigga, so who do you think wins between Ryan and Tank? Mind you, Ryan's his fucking fighter. That's why I'm not even mad that Ryan don't like Oscar. Oscar always downplayed Ryan. Always hated on Ryan. And I don't understand it. You got him under contract. You should big him up. You're his fucking promoter. But he was like, oh, Tank. Just like, he said it so effortlessly. Oh, Tank. And then he was like, wow. He was like, man, and Tank is badass. Like, what? He said, nah, Tank. Yeah, that's what he said. Tank is a beast. Like, what the fuck? You said you just went against your own fighter when your fighter is actively pursuing that fight. Then I remember, who was the other one? I remember when that nigga was pleading with Floyd Schofield to not fight Shakur. He was like, why take the Shakur fights when we could keep you undefeated for years? So basically told that nigga, yo, stay on this motherfucker. Please stay on this protection program so we can cash you out in the future. Don't cash yourself out right now because we're not going to get that much money off of you, Floyd. That's what De La Hoya told Floyd Schofield. They still, they ended up pulling out or whatever, but they ignored, Oscar in that moment. You know what I'm saying? And then I remember y'all saying Canelo Lara. Y'all got to provide the context, y'all. Let me know what y'all talking about. Then, yeah. Oh, okay, I see what I'm talking about. Yeah, that motherfucker ain't want Canelo to fight Lara. He told Canelo no, and Canelo was like, "That's the fight I want. Make the fucking fight happen." I remember that shit. I remember that. Then, when Shakur was chasing Cepeda around, oh man, Oscar was doing everything he could. He said, "You know why William Cepeda's a badass? Because he's ranked in every sanctioning body, and we're not gonna have anybody tell us what the fuck to do." Like, yo, Oscar was talking crazy. Turkey Alashiga was like, man, shut the fuck up and take this money. He was like, yes, Turkey. Took that motherfucking money, cash Cepeda right on out. Fucking, bro, there's so many different examples, bro. Bro, as soon as Vergil beat Erickson Lubin and Boots jumped in the ring and told that nigga he was gonna make him pay, while Oscar said after the fight, Vergil, we hold all the cards. Like, he just wanted him to be the A side so bad, bro. Like, Oscar, for somebody who, had a lot of confidence in himself and not, consecutively fought and beat some of the best competition in the world, you are the scariest. You one of the scariest promoters in the sport of boxing, bro. And to an extent, a lot of these promoters are scary because they don't want to fuck their investment up. But goddamn, ain't nobody got a more sturdy protection program than Oscar. Jahi Tucker should whoop on Vergil. Vergil's a tough style for Jahi, I ain't gonna lie. Jahi could box and shit like that. But Vergil's more intelligent than Yuri Cedeno, I know that. He got a better jab. He cut off the ring better. Vergil got better defense than Yuri Cedeno. Yuri Cedeno can't defend the jab. I've seen Vergil defend the jab. Vergil would probably beat. I think Vergil will beat Jahi Tucker. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, Munguia, bro, Munguia, man. Oscar had Munguia on the craziest protection plan. Absolutely. They will not let that nigga hand go until they cashed him out with Canelo. Shit is crazy. They did not want him fighting anybody. Vergil versus Denzel Bentley. I think Vergil beat him too. That's the crazy part. Was Leo Santa Cruz and Ebner Mares signed the Golden Boy when Rigo was destroying everyone at 122? I think possibly, but I know Santa Cruz and Ebner Mares ended up becoming PBC. But you know, PBC took a lot of Golden Boy fighters. Let me see. Yeah, so Abner they were both with Golden Boy, but Leo was still with Golden Boy when Rigondeaux targeted him in 2014. But you know, around that time, Abner already had left Golden Boy to be with PBC. So Abner left Golden Boy before Guillermo started shooting at him, but Leo was with Golden Boy. So they were both with Golden Boy, but Abner left a little bit before Leo. Damn. That is, I never even thought about that, Lorenzo. That's Oscar. Yeah, I mean, Oscar protection plan A1. I ain't gonna lie. Josue said, "Yo, MAZUMA, do you think Nav and Shock will sell out the Alamo Dome with a great undercard? With a great undercard, they have a strong likelihood to do so. Navarrete gonna bring the Mexicans out in Texas. Shockey look like he got a nice little following in Texas as well. You know what I mean? Because he's from Texas. So that shit could definitely sell. And if you put like a classic fucking top ranked undercard where you just got a bunch of fucking promising contenders and you got to fill that undercard up with Mexicans, bro. That's what it looked like to me. You're going to have to fill that bitch up with Mexicans. Put a Bass Barao or some exciting fights on there. You know what I mean? They just signed I seen they signed a Bass Barao. That'd be a dope little addition to the card. He could fight somebody, a Bass Barao's an exciting style. Yeah, I mean, you got shit. Frank Martin just got signed on there. They could probably throw him on the undercard. There's a few Jones they could do, man. They could put a nice little undercard on there. That's for sure. Top Rank got a lot. They got a few Mexicans they could work with. For sure. Rafael Espinoza, Emiliano. Yeah, that would be dope to see Emiliano on there. Get some Mexicans on it, John, for sure. The Mexicans, you want the Mexicans to come out. And of course, the black fight fan is going to show up too. The most underappreciated fan in boxing, in my opinion. Everybody always, oh, he got a country behind him. Oh, he got a country behind him. Oh, he's Puerto Rican. He got a country behind him. Mexicans, but the black American fighter has the black fight fan behind him. Come on, man. Stop it. Norman versus Tiger. Oh, no, man. Not saying that the fighters wouldn't want it, but I don't know if Top Rank is willing to put both of their guys that they're heavily invested into in a tough fight like that against each other. Because that could make or break them guys, man. I think they want to build them up a little bit more before they slaughter them. Who do I got in that fight, though, between who? Are we talking about Navarrete and Shock? I don't know, man. I done doubted Navarrete so much. He done proved me wrong so many times, bro. It's like Navarrete is such a tough style to deal with, and Oshaki got this thing where he like the bang too. Like he could box, obviously, and he's intelligent enough to box Navarrete, but Navarrete real strong, big for the weight, punching power, good punch placement to the body. He looked phenomenal against Sugar Nunez. I ain't gonna lie, bro. The punch volume was there, the power was there, the accuracy was there. He's very awkward. He's gonna be very hard to prepare for. I ain't gonna lie, man. He's very like who fight like Navarrete. Who fight like Navarrete? I never seen anybody fight like that nigga. He got a real ugly style, but that shit is very effective. That nigga like Sean Marion. Y'all remember when Sean Marion in the NBA had that motherfucker had the ugliest jump shot, but that shit was butter. Navarrete got some of the ugliest fucking moves in the sport of boxing, but that shit is effective. That shit works. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it, bro. I seen this motherfucker. Navarrete does this dumb ass move, bro. I seen this nigga do it so many times where he be right here and he'll drop. He'll drop like he gonna show you. He's showing you where he gonna go, and he bring that uppercut, ugly as shit, right down the right up the middle. But for some reason, that shit makes their opponents freeze, and he finds a way to sneak that uppercut in there. Navarrete is a problem, y'all. And this nigga Navarrete, for the first time, got a strength and conditioning coach and a fucking nutritionist. So Navarrete was beating a lot of these niggas half-assing. Was he a 3-division world champion? Half-assing. Like, now this nigga actually, now he just put it in his mind that he want to be disciplined and he want to work hard. So now you're just taking it to another level. And Navarrete got a nice little resume, y'all. Like I remember Isaac Dog Bay, got Oscar Valdez, Sugar Nunez, Ruben Villa. He doing some shit. He doing some shit, bro. He's tough, man. I don't think this is a 50-50, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I don't like if anybody got shocked as like a crazy favorite, I think you tripping, bro. 55-45, all right, man, because you know that ain't too far off from a 50-50, but if anybody got like 60-40 shock, it's like I don't think so, bro. I really don't. Shock gonna have to be real disciplined in this fight. I think he just gonna like, of course, you want to pick your spots where like you know what I mean, you throw some big shots or whenever you want to bang and shit like that. But Oshaki like that shit. Oshaki be like, I hurt everybody I'll be in the ring with, blah blah. And with fights like he stopped a couple niggas. You know what I'm saying? And there was fights where he got hurt and he was like, oh yeah, I need to get that back. With a motherfucker like Navarrete, no, you do not want to have a shootout with that man. I don't believe I don't think Shaq could do that. I don't think he could afford to do that. I really don't. I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna watch these motherfuckers a little bit more. But does Navarrete make a lot of mistakes? Yes. Motherfuckers filled with flaws. But them things that he's good at, the work, the punch output, the accuracy, the awkwardness, the power, shit works for him very well. Like and Navarrete doesn't do everything perfect, but with the shit that he's good at, he has a certain level of intelligence too, where he knows when and when not to do certain shit. Like it's just the shit work, bro. It works, bro. I'm telling you, like Sean Marion had one of the ugliest jump shots that I ever seen. But when that motherfucker pulled up and he shot that motherfucker, that shit went in more times than not. Navarrete got an ugly ass style, but that shit worked for him. Bro, go pull up. For those y'all who never watched basketball, bro, especially, back the early 2010s and shit. Man, go watch Sean Marion, bro. Sean Marion, you gonna look at that and be like, bro, what the fuck was that? But every time you see that bitch, that shit was cash. Navarrete, he throw an ugly ass punch, but that should be the one that put a nigga on his pockets. Gotta watch him. Trying to tell you, if Shock put it in his mind that he gonna bang with Navarrete and try to push him back, bro, he gonna get fucked up. He gonna get his ass whooped. Trying to tell you, bro. But if Shock box, you know what I mean, use his footwork, keep turning Navarrete, run Navarrete into shots, and play Matador, he could do it. He could do it. He needs to be, in my opinion, he needs to fight a disciplined fight. To me, fight discipline. You know what I mean? Don't give Navarrete anything he's looking for, because Navarrete gonna be looking to get into them exchanges with you, and you know what I mean, keep you against the ropes. Shock feet got to be moving. Run him into shots. Keep turning him. Keep Navarrete off balance with your feints. Keep that jab in his face so he had trouble establishing his offense. What? They said that John Hayden Panettiere passed away. I remember her. Damn, she was young as shit. What happened? What the fuck? Y'all know Hayden Panettiere, y'all? That's crazy. What? What? That's wild. She was in that show Heroes. Yeah, she passed away. I remember her off Disney too. Yeah, bro, it's a lot of crazy shit happening in this world, man. They said she been complaining about back pain, so she probably fucking, she probably OD, probably fucking with them pills and shit done got her. You know how that shit go, man. That's sad. Super sad. But y'all got any last questions before I get up out of here, y'all? She was only 36, man. She was young as shit. That's sad. Is Roelly and Teofimo fight week already? Damn, that shit flew by, didn't it? Wow, it is. Wow, it is. That's crazy. Man. Wow. That shit flew by. Wasn't she in a relationship with Klitschko? I think she was, right? Wasn't she fucking with Klitschko? Yeah, they had a daughter. That's sad, bro. Wow. I knew that's another reason why I knew who she was. She's a fuck with Vladimir. I'm trying because I never watched Disney growing up. I heard of her. I heard that she was on Disney and shit. But I'm like, yo, why does her name ring a bell so much in my head? And it's because she used to fuck with Vlad. I knew it. I knew it was something. Damn, they was together for a while. They was together like 9 years. Damn, she gave up full custody of her kid. That's crazy. That's rare for a woman to do. They said they ended on good terms. Yeah, she had an addiction to alcohol and opioids. Damn. Yeah, man. She got a history of fucking with opioids, so obviously we can't confirm what happened to her, but I'm willing to bet she OD'd. But the industry take advantage of a lot of them child actors, man. Like my son, I could tell my son is so like not he's not dramatic, but he knows how to play a role to like for his young age, he already understands like sympathy. And he already knows how to like get people to do shit for him. So like if I be like, nah, Mike, you can't do that, then he'll walk away with like he'll walk with his head down and he won't like he'll make little noises and shit to try to get some type of sympathy out of you. Like, oh, I'm sorry, baby, here you go, blah blah. So like my son, and then like he'll do like a little dramatic shit, right? So like he'll hit me, and then like I'll give him like a little push or a little tap on his head, and he'll like fall all dramatically. So I'll be like, yo, my son an actor, but bro, I would never ever get my son into that fucking demonic ass industry, bro. I will go to jail the rest of my life before I let something happen to my son. There's some nasty shit going on with them. That's why all them fucking child actors, they all on drugs and they be having mental health episodes and I'm cool, bro. My son, no. Hell no. That shit not worth it. My boy Blaze said, who you got, Roelly or Tio? Um, I'm rooting for Roelly, man. I really want Roelly to pull that off against Tio. The problem is, I do think since Roelly Romero has been training with Ismael Salas, it has turned him more into a counter puncher, and he's pretty much, you know, stepped back from the style that made him as dangerous and effective as he was. You know, when Roelly was with Coach Bullet, you know, he was taking chances, letting his hands go, being aggressive, pushing you back, punching in combinations, and doing everything with bad intentions. You know, with Ismael Salas, he's slowing things down a bit, slowing his brain down a little bit, and, you know, pretty much letting the offense come to him and trying to punch in between shots. And because I believe Teofimo Lopez is the better athlete, you know, he has more God-gifted ability in terms of like those fast twitch muscles. You know what I'm saying? Being a rhythmic fighter, and you know, Tio could get into a flow state where you know he's hitting you, and then he can see every shot coming his way, and he can make you miss. And you know, he gets real fluid like that. He doesn't seem to do that with elite level guys, like Shakur Stevenson, but guys that maybe a little bit below that skill set wise, he seems to get off on them with that. So I think if he allows Tio to be first and control the, like the what can I say, the pace of the fight, then I think Tio's gonna end up outclassing Roelly Romero. However, if Roelly Romero is aggressive, punching in combinations and pushing Tio back and effectively getting shots off while Tio is up against the ropes, I think he could really hurt Tio. I think that if he hits Tio with the right shot, he could knock him out. And I know that sounds crazy. Oh, how could you say that? Tio's never been knocked out before. Yeah, but Tio also has never fought at 147 pounds, and he's also never been in there with somebody who punches as hard as Roelly Romero. So those are other things that you got to take into consideration as well. Yeah, we haven't seen Tio visibly hurt. We seen him get dropped, but we never really seen him like real hurt where he, his legs buckling and he's, out on his feet. But with Roelly Romero, he has that bone-crushing, destructive power that if he hits you with a clean shot, especially if he hits you multiple times, you're not going to be able to take that shit. Not with no 8-ounce gloves on. And, so I think it's, I think it depends on Roelly's approach. If he falls back and he tries to play chess with Tio, I think Tio going to style all over him. But if he makes this like a physical fight, where he's punching in combinations, he's not allowing Tio to breathe. He's punching in between Tio's punches. Then he could do some damage, and he could probably hurt Tio and knock him out. I really believe that. You know what I'm saying? Like I've seen, he beat Steve Claggett, but he had to throw over 1,000 punches to keep Steve Claggett up off of him, and he still left that bitch with all types of bumps and bruises and swelling. So why the fuck Roelly Romero can't do it? So it all comes down to Roelly Romero's approach, man. If you approach that economical counterpuncher type of style that you've been learning with Salas, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? You're gonna get outclassed. But if you tap into that old Roelly, that Coach Bullet Roelly Romero, you could really cause Tio a lot of fits, man. Tio small for welterweight, man. He's small, bro. He was a small 140. A regular average size 140 at best. You at 147 pounds, bro. I don't believe Tio is gonna be like this. And you had trouble knocking people out at 140. You mean to tell me that you're gonna be hurting motherfuckers at 147 and all that? I don't know, man. Roelly don't take the best punch, but at the same time, I don't know. I think Roelly could do it though. Roelly said he'll be going to 154 soon and do what? Trick said, did you see the sit down on Ring Magazine with Tio Jr. and Sr.? Tio Jr. said his dad's fault for the Shakur loss. Yeah, I seen that. And, Tio was turning up on his pop a little bit. He really wasn't allowing his pop to speak. And his pop is an enabler, man. Like, he allows Tio to be as dysfunctional as he is. It's kind of crazy, to be honest with you. Like Tio Sr. he just gasses his son's head up. Gasses it up. And you can tell Junior be believing in the shit that his pop be telling him. Like, but regardless, yeah, I watched it, and I think Tio Sr. has said something like, and it was true. He said, bro, it was both of our fault. You know what I'm saying? Like, I fucked up when not showing up to the press conference. But my whole thing is, why do you need your dad at the press conference? Why do you need him to be at the press conference? Why is that such a big deal for him to be at the press conference? All you need is yourself. They're not there to see your father. What, you wanted him to defend you while they was coming at you? Bro, you should be able to defend. You should be able to defend yourself when motherfuckers is talking to you. You a grown man. Now, in terms of the corner instructions, that shit was crazy. But I think they both played a part. I think that it was Tio's fault because, you know what I'm saying? He didn't. Because look, Tio claims to be two-time undisputed. You're such a high-level type of fighter, but when it came down to trying to make adjustments to defeat Shakur Stevenson, you weren't able to do so. You know what I'm saying? So it's your fault that you lost to Shakur Stevenson because you didn't make the adjustments necessary to get off on Shakur Stevenson or turn the fight around. And it's your father's fault because your father can't give instructions worth shit to beat Shakur Stevenson. I think y'all was overmatched in the first place. Oh, that's not, my son, my son wasn't he wasn't even slipping the jab. He wasn't even slipping the jab. Well, Shakur Stevenson's timing was absolutely impeccable, for one. And Tio ain't never been in there with somebody who had a solid jab like Shakur Stevenson, an accurate jab like Shakur Stevenson. So, yeah, I've seen them going back and forth, bro. They dysfunctional, man. They got a fucked up relationship, to be honest with you. And I see a fighter in Teal Jr. who's, not, lacking accountability and trying to throw his dad under the bus. And I see his dad enabling his son to be a fucking weirdo. That's what I see. But, it is what it is, man. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm peeping how the way they talking, and they're just so sure that they're going to beat Roelly. Like, it's crazy. I told Devin that I'll see him at the end and we'll fight for undisputed. You better make sure you get through Roelly first, motherfucker. You coming off of a loss. You take another loss or you get knocked out by Roelly, them world title chances are going to be slim to none, bro, at 47. But that's my live, man. I hope you guys appreciate it. The boxing talk. I'll be back at y'all with another live tomorrow night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue cooking up what's going on in the boxing world. Until then, I hope you guys have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.